back to my booktube channel. My name is Sukaja and I'm here today to show you some of the books that I've recently hauled. Recently I went to a bunch of different bookshops in town. I also had a Amazon gift voucher worth 2,500 rupees that I needed to spend. So I did a big book haul and you are about to see a range of books across genres that I've picked up. Some of them are very new, some of them are old favorites. You'll get to see them in this video, so stick around, get a cup of tea, and let's dive into the different books I got from different bookshops in town. I have different piles of books here, so I'm really excited to do this. Let's start off with a book that I most recently picked up. I went to Landmark, which is a pretty popular bookshop where they also sell some stationery, and I went there quite recently and I bought lots of stationery, but I also bought this book, which is Beginner's Guide to Japan by Pico Iyer. I thought, let me read something along the lines of a travelogue. And Pico Iyer has been living in Japan for a really long time, I think over 2 decades. The long he lives there, he feels like Japan is a very unfamiliar place that continues to surprise him in different ways. He's written about his experiences of staying in Japan, and I'm really interested in reading this. Now I'm going to go to some of the books I bought using the gift voucher from Amazon. Here is Bitter Orange by Claire Fuller. This is a dark tale, is what I've heard. And this is about a couple and they're kind of navigating this new world. But I'm really excited to read this. I also bought this gorgeous edition of Mrs. Dalloway by Virginia Woolf. I decided to collect this because I'm also a book collector, but I do read a lot of the books that I collect. I must point that out. This is just so beautiful on the outside. And it has a foreword by Jenny Offel. I think she's the author of Weather, which is another book on my TBR, my endless TBR. This has French flaps. Definitely want to reread this. I have read this during my postmodernism course in English literature back in my master's, but I thought I should give this another shot. And of course, Virginia Woolf is known for her stream of consciousness style of writing. And with Mrs. Dalloway is also made into a film, I think, starring Meryl Streep. And the first line of this book is kind of infamous. This is set in London. If you have suggestions for further reading, this edition is really nice. Right, Mrs. Dalloway said she would buy the flowers herself. One of the most infamous lines in English literature. So there you have it. Really excited to read this and keep this for years to come. I have a big pile of books here and it's turning out to be a bit of a tower. I'm just gonna adjust the camera. I also went to this new bookshop called Walking Book Fairs. They have 2 branches, one in Bangalore, one in Orissa. I'm gonna insert some pictures of my trip to the bookshop here. I highly recommend visiting them if you are somebody who is interested in supporting independent bookstores. I did a huge haul there and they have some really good curated books, and if you are an English literature student like me, then you would be really happy with the collection there. I picked up this new edition of A Yellow Sun. I love these HarperCollins editions. I haven't read this book yet. I have read Americana and I really liked it by Chimamanda. That's probably my favorite book of hers that I've read. I like her short stories too. That Thing Around Your Neck was brilliant. And I have decided to pick this up and give this a go. This is set in Nigeria in the 1960s and it's to do with the internal strife and problems in Nigeria. I also went crazy and I bought 3 copies by a publisher that I really love, Pushkin Press. This bookshop had a lot of books by Pushkin Press, a lot of translated fiction, lots of Japanese fiction. So if you are into Japanese fiction, I highly recommend visiting this bookstore. I bought 3 short novels. One is by Hiromi Kawakami. And she's the author of Strange Weather in Tokyo. Just look at this cover, isn't it brilliant? I love this cover so much. Yeah, this is a collection of 3 stories about women. They're supposed to be haunting and they are supposed to cover experiences of loss, loneliness and extraordinary romance. Looking forward to that. And I also bought Spring Garden by Tomoka Shibasaki, again by Pushkin Press. And this is about a divorced person named Taro who lives alone. One of the few occupied apartments in his block. I think this is a bit of a mystery. Looking forward to getting back to you with the review. This is Slow Boat by Hideo Furukawa. Trapped in Tokyo, left behind by a series of girlfriends, the narrator of Slow Boat sizes up his situation. Filled with lyrical longing and humor, Slow Boat captures perfectly the urge to get away and necessity of finding yourself in a world which might never be looking for you. Interesting. I like anything set in Tokyo. So I've got these 3 gorgeous books and guess how much they were. They costed $300 each. which I think was a really good deal. Lovely, so pretty. Thank you Pushkin Press for making these lovely covers, and I got them on 20% off because walking book fairs allows 20% off on all their new titles, which is just great. And then I spotted this book, The Journals of Sylvia Plath. Okay, and I have read The Bell Jar before and I really liked it. Even though it was really intense and difficult to get through, I still made it through and I liked it. And of course the book did haunt me for a couple of days after. I wouldn't recommend it for everybody, but then Sylvia Plath's writing is brilliant and I wanted to know more about, you know, her life and what it was like growing up in New York, which is where I think she spent the beginning of her life. I bought this book with a foreword by Ted Hughes, the poet. Anyway, getting excited now, need to calm down. This has a lot of her own writing. And because she lived during the Second World War, I think there's going to be some takes on that as well. And she lived in England as well, so there's going to be some writing about that. So it's going to be an exploration into her mind because this is, you know, excerpts from her journal. Looking forward to this. Walking Book Fairs also does home deliveries, and they were nice enough to give me a free home delivery of this book, Lady Chatterley's Lover. And I have been looking for a copy of this fresh new edition for a really long time. And I have not been able to find a new copy, but they were able to give it to me and I bought this because again I had read this during my masters and I want to kind of revisit it. In my masters I read a lot of books. This was again part of the postmodernism module. I read this and I read another one which was very similar about a paralyzed soldier and things like that. I also read some Evelyn Waugh for that course. That was a brilliant course. Anyway, I left all the books that I bought for that course in England, so I didn't bring them back because of, you know, weight constraints. So now I'm kind of slowly going back and picking out those books and rereading them. So that's exciting. So I wanted to own a copy of this novel, which when it came out was a big, you know, problem, and it created ripples because it deals with a lot of taboo things, which back in the day, I think when it was written, were really, you know, taboo. I think it also deals with PTSD and things like that, but looking forward to this. Was really happy to see lots of poetry in walking book fairs. If you love poetry, you should definitely go there and check it out. They have some really good people. I think Yehuda Amichai, who is like this Jewish poet, his works are there, and they have a lot of others. I spotted this new book by Lana Del Rey, who I like as a musician. I like her songs and she composes some really nice ones and the lyrics are really nice, and I'm somebody who listens to music but does pay attention to the lyrics a lot because I don't understand the technical aspects and theories of music to appreciate it from that way, but I am able to now slowly understand the different sounds and instruments involved in, you know, creating songs. But at the same time, I like lyrics, and Lana Del Rey writes nice lyrics. So she's written poetry here, and I just love the title of this. It's like one of those songs that she, you know, comes out with, while bent backwards over the grass. I like the imagery in the songs. I like the metaphors. I'm looking forward to this. It's got lovely photographs inside, and it's literally a photograph of the page in which she's typed out her poem. That's how the book is. So really looking forward to reviewing this in the days to come as well and really engaging with it. But of course, I need to judge her without bias on how good she might be as a poet. We know she's already a good musician and a singer, but delving into a whole new genre like poetry, it's not for everybody, but we'll try and be a little less biased when we get into this book. The shopkeeper there in walking book fairs, they said that, you know, this book is really good. So then I took their word, because it's really nice when in the bookstores you have people who are kind of in the field. I've noticed in this country, we have very few people who are really into literature being able to kind of talk about the books that they sell, recommend books to customers. I feel like, just can somebody hire me part-time in a bookshop, because I could really help when it comes to, you know, giving good books to people, directing them to good books. I think I'd be really useful. So just putting that out there. Whoever watches this video in future, you can always, you know, reach out if you need any assistance. Also, I got 3 books from HarperCollins the last month, I think. This is Taxiwala and Other Stories by Numair Atif Chowdhury. This is set in Bangladesh and it deals with short stories about life in Bangladesh. Really simple stuff, I guess. Looking forward to getting into this. And I also got Dust Never Settles by Karina Licorice Quinn. I don't know if this is a pseudonym or a real name. It's definitely a Halloween-y book. It's a hauntingly beautiful story. It's about an uneasy homecoming and reckoning with secrets that refuse to stay buried. This is set in Peru, so that's very exciting. Never read any South American writer before, so looking forward to reading this. And thank you so much, HarperCollins, for sending me this book on request. It's got a nice Aztec detailing inside, which is kind of cool. And the last book I got from HarperCollins is The Adventure of the Christmas Pudding. It's a collection of 6 short stories written by Agatha Christie, curated by them for the Christmas season. She did this many years ago, and these stories have been kind of put together in this new edition, which I think is kind of cloth bound, but it has lovely end papers. I've got 5 baffling cases. I like shorts. I really like when it's mystery and it's short. That's what I prefer as opposed to reading a full-fledged, lengthy mystery novel. So looking forward to delving into this. It also features stories with Hercule Poirot and Miss Jane Marple. I know what you're thinking. I know you're thinking that I'm not going to read half these books and what am I even doing with them, but I am definitely going to read them. I want to read them and I will report back once I do. Before you go anywhere, can you please subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and also share it with somebody who you think might find it interesting. So leave a comment below, let me know what you're reading, and if any of these books sounds appealing to you, or if you've read any of these books already, I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'm also on Instagram as Bookish Bulletin, so please do give me a follow there if you'd like status updates and full-fledged written reviews. Alright, thank you for watching. I will be back soon with another bookish video. Stay safe, stay sane, and I will see you soon. Bye!